If a narcissist ever says, "So what you're really saying is," stop. They're twisting your words. Most of you already know what narcissists do when they're losing control. Gaslight, deflect, accuse you of overreacting. But that's not what this video is about. I want to show you the first signs of their traps, what they say and do before they ever twist your words. If you spot these clues early enough, there is a way to flip the script without sounding defensive or over-explaining and without letting them hijack the conversation. I spent the last 20 years researching self-worth and narcissistic relationships. As a coach, author, and survivor myself, I teach simple systems to help empower you in any situation. In this video, I'll show 3 conversation traps narcissists use and the 3-word response that ends their game. So first, let's talk about why narcissists twist your words. What's really going on here? So picture a pickpocket in a crowded plaza. He's not threatening anyone. He looks harmless, friendly even. He blends in. Maybe he bumps someone's shoulder, says oops, and flashes a quick smile. It seems minor, just a blip in their day. It happens so fast they don't even realize anything's gone. Not until hours later when they reach for their wallet or their keys or a credit card and it's missing. By then, it's too late. Maybe it was just cash. Maybe it was their ID, their bank card, access to their accounts. One quick bump from a stranger and suddenly they're locked out of their finances, calling fraud lines and trying to undo the damage. Pickpockets don't take everything. They don't hold you hostage. They're not like bank robbers. There's no immediate violence, no aggressive threat, and that's exactly why it works. They exist in plain sight. By the time you realize something's missing, they're long gone. That's how the strategy works. 3 quick moves. The approach, that's the bump, the smile, the eye contact. It's not random, it's rehearsed, and it's meant to feel normal or friendly. The distraction, your attention shifts just for a second. You feel something, hear something, reach for something. That moment is all he needs. And then the extraction. His hand is already in your pocket. He knows what he's there to take. It's fast, it's targeted, it's quiet. And by the time you notice, it's not just what's missing. It's about the damage that missing thing can cause. So now we're going to look at how this same strategy plays out in a conversation with a narcissist. I'll show you 3 different ways that they use it to twist your words and extract power without you even realizing it. But before we dive in, if you've ever been blindsided by someone you thought you could trust, I have something for you. I've poured months into creating a brand new training, and I'm beyond excited to finally share it with you. In this 5-day training, you'll learn how to spot unsafe people, hold your ground in tough conversations, and reclaim your power. Download the free Narcissist Protection Checklist to get started. You'll also get first access to my upcoming training before it opens to the public. Spots will be limited, so don't wait. Most people think narcissists cross boundaries because you didn't set them clearly, but this tactic shows up because you did set them clearly. You might not have even realized it, but they did, and they didn't like it, and here's how it works. Let's say yesterday you said something simple like, "I'm not sure if I can make it to your party." It felt honest, easy, no drama. But today, out of nowhere, they say, "I guess I'll go alone since you don't care about my family." And that misquote is the bump. It catches you off guard. It's subtle, but strategic. It's the approach that starts the entire tactic, just like a pickpocket brushing your arm. And of course, it makes sense that you'd want to explain yourself. You'd think they misheard you or misunderstood your tone. You're assuming that this was an honest mistake, so you try to explain. You walk them back through what you actually said. You soften your words to make sure they don't feel attacked. But that's exactly what they're counting on. That moment when you shift from holding your ground to managing their reaction is the distraction. Your attention is on fixing the misquote instead of what they're really trying to take from you. And that's the extraction. They want to extract your energy, your emotional labor, your attention. And they're smug in their cruelty, feeling powerful while watching you perform, watching you scramble to clarify something that they know you didn't say. And that's the moment they're aiming for. They get to feel superior. They feel full of contempt. They watch to see how easily they can make the monkey dance. And it's not a misunderstanding. It's exploitation. They are using your empathy as a weapon against you. They know exactly what they're doing, and they enjoy it. And that's their payoff, the rush of control, twisting your words and watching you scramble to feed their ego. It confirms what they want to believe, that they are smarter, untouchable, and above accountability. There's a 3-word response that shuts this down before it even starts. But first, I need to show you a few more examples so you know exactly when to use it and why it works. Here's another classic pickpocket con. Someone walks up looking flustered like a tourist who's completely lost. They hold a crumpled map, point out a street sign, fumble with their phone. They say, "Excuse me, can you help me find this place?" And of course, you lean in, you're trying to help. You point, you explain, you maybe even take the map from their hands. But it was never about directions. It was about distraction. Because while you're focused on helping them, they're already helping themselves to your wallet. Narcissists do the same thing. Maybe because they're feeling a little bored, or maybe they're feeling like the attention isn't on them enough, or maybe they're not feeling special enough. So they create a moment where they can act like the lost tourist. Only instead of asking for directions, they act confused about what you meant. That's the approach. They say, "I'm confused," or "What do you mean by that?" It sounds innocent, but it's not. Yes, this is a tactic, and yes, they're doing it on purpose. It's how they hook your attention. And if you're a caring person, you'll do what most people do. You lean in, or you'll try to explain, or you'll try to walk them through your tone or your meaning, and you soften your words, or you try to be more clear. That's the distraction. They know exactly what they want, and the minute that you're trying to unconfuse them, they're already getting it. Your focus shifts to helping them, and just like that, they're helping themselves to your energy, your attention, and your self-doubt. Why? Why do they do this? Because watching you work to please them, watching you scramble to clarify and soothe and fix, makes them feel powerful. Here's another classic pickpocket con. Someone drops something right in front of you, a scarf, or maybe their keys, maybe their wallet. That's the approach. You see it hit the ground, and of course, you do what any decent person would do. You bend down, you pick it up, and you hand it back to them. That's the distraction. But that moment of kindness is exactly what they're counting on. They never needed their scarf back. They needed you distracted. Because while your attention is on helping them, while your head is down, the extraction is already finished, and they've stolen exactly what they wanted. The drop wasn't an accident. It was bait meant to distract you so that they can exploit you. And narcissists do the same thing in conversation. Let's say you're at a dinner party and say something lighthearted like, "I didn't sleep great last night." And they smile and say, "Oh no, was our conversation too stimulating for your delicate nerves?" Sounds like a joke, but underneath it's a jab. It paints you as fragile, dramatic, or hard to be around. That's the drop. You weren't expecting it, so you bend down emotionally. You laugh nervously, and then you pick up what they dropped. You say something like, "No, I'm not sensitive, I just had too much coffee." You feel the need to clarify, to defend yourself, to make sure they don't think you're overreacting, and that's the redirect. And while you're busy trying to prove that you're not fragile, they've already gotten what they came for. Confirmation that they can undermine you and make you perform for their approval. To protect yourself from a pickpocket in real life, here's what you actually need to do. You clock the setup. That's it. Your brain registers that something feels off, and then you check your stuff. Your hand goes to your bag or your pocket or your purse. You don't stop to help. You don't argue. You don't lean in. You just keep walking. Maybe you quietly signal a friend or give a quick glance that says, "Don't engage." There's no drama, no panic, just awareness. The setup only works if you react. That's the entire con. The drop, the bump, the fake confusion. They're just bait. And if you don't take it, there's nothing to steal. The pickpocket moves on because without your attention, they have no access. And that's how you break the spell, not with confrontation, but with calm, quick awareness and the decision to not participate. To protect yourself from a narcissist who wants to twist your words, here's exactly what you need to do. You clock the setup. You feel that split-second shift, that joke that isn't a joke, the confusion that isn't real, the guilt trip that came out of nowhere, and instead of engaging, you say to yourself, "Something isn't right." Just like how your hand would go to your wallet, your focus shifts inward to protect your resources. Narcissists are after your energy, your confidence, your emotional footing. That simple shift is how you guard what they're trying to take. By saying something isn't right, it works because it interrupts the spell. It also works because it shifts the focus back to you. Instead of scanning them for cues, are they mad? Did I say the wrong thing? Do they really not understand? You're turning your focus back into your own sense of reality. You're anchoring to your inner knowing. You don't need evidence. You don't need counter argument. You just need the split-second awareness that this feels wrong. Simply tell yourself something isn't right, and that's all you have to do. You don't lean in, you don't explain, you don't try to fix the moment or rescue the mood. You keep your own attention on your own clarity. You stay upright emotionally. You don't pick up what they dropped. You don't reach for the map. You don't rebut the misquote. You just let it sit. Maybe you change the subject. Maybe you just go quiet. The spell only works if you react. But once you've seen the setup and once you've named it to yourself, the tactic loses its power. You've broken the illusion that you owe them some kind of performance. And without that, they've got nothing to work with. Thanks for watching. YouTube thinks you're going to like this video right here on the screen. Yep, that's the one. Click it to learn even more about spotting narcissists, protecting yourself against manipulation so you can live the life you deserve. I'll see you over there. Okay, bye.